morning. Today is the 4th of December and it's time for yet another not particularly interesting, very vague and probably quite boring vlog. So despite the weather today, and I know a lot of you are experiencing much more severe weather here than we are in Hampshire, it's going to be a track day on Wednesday. I think a lot of you, by the time that this video comes out, would have already seen the footage from said track day, where I should be going with Mr. Hunter from Jeff Bike Cars and Lee the Mac Master, and I think some other people Mr. Hunter knows. The car that I will be driving is a 1996, I believe, Volvo 850 2-litre 10-valve manual, which is not the fastest type of 850 they've made. In fact, apart from the automatic version of that engine, it is the slowest type of 850 that they made, but I think it's quite appropriate for the way that we drive on this channel. So, in preparation for said track day, there are various things I had to look up. One of them was, you know, what happens if you are the slowest car on the track, what really overtakes you. And that is quite clear. You stick to a certain side of the track and let people pass you. Use the indicators and things like that, and you know, just motion people to pass you, which is understandable. Some other things as well. I've looked up where you can hire a helmet at the track. I could buy my own one, but that can be quite expensive, and I don't know how many track days I will be doing in the future. Just one's over £100 just for the cost of a day. So, you know, they're not the cheapest thing to do, but it should be fun, and it's worth it for something I haven't done for a little while. So that's okay. The thing that actually Mr. Hunter himself explained was that we might need to get some insurance. Now, this obviously sounds like a very, very sensible idea to insure your lovely car that you're driving on a track in case the worst happens. And, you know, you see these things happen all the time. However skillful you are, perhaps somebody who's not paying attention or something, or just pushing it a bit too hard, or, you know, the track might be a little bit slippery or something like that. They might not be as good as you or whatever. If something happens, you said, well, you know, that's good. Obviously, it's a legal requirement in this country to have at least third-party cover. If you're going anywhere in a car, you must have at least third-party cover. Generally, comprehensive is recommended. Track day insurance, however, is not the same as insurance for the road. It's absolutely not the same. Like it bears sort of very little resemblance to it. You know, there is a degree in which you can get cover, and you know, there are excesses to pay, but the way that it works is really not the same. And I've had this confirmed by several different people. Mr. Hunter and I didn't actually realise this is the way that it worked until we looked into it, but it is. So I'm telling you now, so that, you know, you don't mistakenly buy something that actually you don't need. And why would I be saying this? You know, this is a sensible, rational channel. It's not like Mr. Hunter and his kind of rants about things and, you know, terrible kind of car purchasing habits and things like that. We're a rational channel. So why am I telling you that track day insurance might not be the right thing for you? Well, when you go to a track day, and this is pretty much the same for most tracks that you'd be competing at in this country, although I must emphasise that it's a non-competitive track day that we're going on. You sign a piece of paper or electronically sign a document to say that any damage that happens to your car is your responsibility, regardless of whether you hit a wall, if somebody hits you, if you hit somebody and your car's damaged, that is your responsibility. So the track day insurance that you can buy only covers your car and the damage to it. If somebody else hits you, then that's actually your responsibility. You know, the accident isn't necessarily your fault, but it's your responsibility to fix the damage to your car. And so, you know, one thing we were concerned about, because the cars that we're going in, Mr. Hunter and I, are very low in value. They are maybe up to about £1,000 in value. His car that he's going in cost him £500. So, you know, we were obviously very aware of it, but we're thinking, well, you know, if anything happens, then, and somebody has like a, say for example, Leader Macmaster, £120,000 Porsche Taycan that he's taking on the track, if we hit him, you know, we're going to be in a lot of trouble for repairs and things like that. But it turns out, because of that policy that the tracks have, that's actually his responsibility if we run into him by accident. I'm not saying we do it deliberately, because it would be stupid to do that. But in that case, the track day insurance only covers your car. It does not cover you against a third party at all. So if I hit the Taycan, if I'm on the track, then it's not my responsibility, but the insurer doesn't cover me, if that makes sense. So he's got to pay for that damage himself. And so if you have a car that's worth under £1,000, the premium is about 100, which it was when I looked into it, and the excess is about 750. What is the actual point of buying a track day insurance? There isn't any, because you've paid for the premium and the excess is 750, and so you might as well just say, I've actually had this conversation with Mr. Hunter, if I damage your car that I'm driving his car, then I will pay you for it. It's as simple as that. There is nothing else really in that way to actually mention. So the lady I spoke to from Morris Insurance, who was extremely helpful actually, because that's one of the companies that it seems to promote most on Google search results, is the Morris track day insurance, and she was really helpful. You can get cover, I think it starts at about £70 plus, I think it's plus VAT or something, or plus some sort of fee. And if I had a £120,000 Porsche, I would be looking into that. I'm not saying that it's that much to cover the car for the day. That's, I think, on the cheaper level. So I would absolutely, if I had a more expensive car, be purchasing some track day insurance in case anything happened. But because the car I'm driving is so close in value to the cost of the excess plus the premium, it's absolutely not worth buying it. And you know, I asked Mr. Martin from JM on Cars, a much more experienced person doing track days than I am, and he explained to me what the situation was. I looked it up online as well. I read an article from Evo magazine, which again explained this to me, and even I just asked, absolutely to be 100% sure, I asked the lady from Morris Insurance how it worked, and she told me exactly what I've told you, which I was extremely surprised about, but that's just the way that it seems to be. So there you go. Do you need track day insurance? If you've got a really cheap car, then I would suggest you don't. If you have something that's really precious and you know you're concerned about what might happen to it if you run into someone or someone runs into you, then yes. And you know, I'm not saying this is sponsored by Morris Insurance, because it's not. This is just what I found out, and you know, thank you again to Mr. Martin from JM on Cars for your excellent advice. Make sure you watch his videos because he has lots of other interesting things to say. So there we are. It's been just something I knew nothing about, and now I feel informed and educated. Anyway, thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment below, and we shall see you again soon for some more surprisingly relevant information.